A lot of the venues that, where you want to play, I'd say most of the places now, at least I know from Ottawa, are very dependent on either, your fans slash family slash friends to come out. And, even I think the original venues is the reason why they put three bands together, is that the logic being, hopefully they're going to bring these 30 people, these will bring 30 people, and these will bring 30 people. I've got 100 people in my establishment, right? So, because most bands get a following, but the people can't always be out. This is one of the things, I remember back from our old days in the 90s, that we were dependent on friends to come out to the shows. But of course they're not, if you're playing 2 times or 3 times a month, maybe they'll come out and support you once, but definitely you have to, if a venue can draw, and it's very rare that a venue just draws, that, people are, oh yeah, for sure, all the time there's going to be people there. The one exception I would say back in the old days was Grand Central, where basically it's because they were bringing very talented bands. Again, this is cover bands, so with the occasional throw-in of original bands. Like I remember seeing Harem Scarum there once. There, Luke, I mentioned him. I actually knew the drummer from Fanshawe days. He and I hung out a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit. And anyway, going back to playing at clubs. Basically, most of the clubs just want cover bands because they want people to know the songs. So here's the thing we figured out is if the girls are up dancing, the guys are going to stick around and they're going to drink. So you have to, there's only so much, and so Where's Mike's show generally is the first set. The first half will be, we do our more experimental stuff that's not dancing. Although, sometimes we get surprised and people get up and dance and like, oh, wow, okay, great. Then the second half of that first set will be more tunes for that. But again, we're saying these are all rock tunes that people can dance to. And then the next 2 sets are generally, you can dance to anything. But again, we like doing rock tunes that people can dance to. So that's your Where's Mike show. I know in our older days, we would mix some of our Where's Mike tunes with covers. Now, most of our evening would be only 5 Where's Mike songs and the rest is covers. And to play a lot of the venues, sometimes they have already established crowd. Yes, you would, you'd be doing basically covers all night. To keep the interest in the band, we're always learning new cover songs, and it's kind of on different ends of the spectrum. Like sometimes we learn some of the songs, our Dream Theater song, let's say for example. We learn it for ourselves, really, because we're not going to play that live unless a bunch of people are yelling out Dream Theater, then we're going to do it. But normally you don't get that. I think right now, we pick songs that most of the time take a little bit of effort to learn, and that musicians are going to appreciate that. Holy geez, they can pull that off, right? So it's fun to actually talk to fellow musicians, and they're like, wow, man, that sounds really good. You guys were able to pull that off. And some people say like, who plays that? Nobody plays that. If you go out and see the bands, you'll hear a lot of them doing some of the same music. Yes, we do that, but at the same time, we're trying to pull off songs that other people aren't doing, right? So whether it's because it's more technical to do the song, or maybe it just wasn't as popular, we pick some songs that really aren't popular, but they're still fun and they're still danceable for some people. Like I said, a lot of the bands you'll go out and hear, at least they'll have Brown Eyed Girl or New Orleans is Sinking. I'd say these are almost like staples that you're gonna hear. You're gonna, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I know that song. Sometimes I'll get inspired and I'll throw in different words instead of what the actual lyrics is, and then I'll look towards my wife to see, because She's good at catching when I'm changing the words in a song. Generally, we try to play as close as possible to what the song's done. Now, that being said, we add our own element to it. I would say for me, it's like, I think we add more energy sometimes to the song. And it's funny because people who have come out to our jam shack and have hung out at the shack and heard us numerous times playing the songs, they'll hear some of the songs that we're covering on the radio and say, oh, the artist isn't playing that properly. Where's Mike wouldn't do it that way.